Liftoff.
Please don't call it a ride.
When zero gravity left some with zero clue.
Taking up space!
Have you been? Have you been?
Three women were brave enough to answer the call.
It is not a ride.
It's a mission.
This is special coverage of Blonde Origin. Zero gravity, zero clue. Here are your hosts, Mark Halperin and Link Lauren.
You're looking live, not at Lambeau Field, but at LaGuardia Airport. It is a beautiful day to make history, a beautiful day to defy gravity. Link, welcome into our coverage. Glad to have you. You're a veteran of these space launches. How do you see today?
You know, Mark, it's great to be with you. I just spoke to a source in Connecticut that said Megyn's husband, Douglas Brunt, just took out a massive life insurance policy on her this morning, but I'm sure that is not suspicious whatsoever.
What could possibly go wrong? Link, I can't help but reflect on the great astronauts in American history. Buzz Aldrin, John Glenn. Are our three heroes today likely to enter the pantheon of greatest ever?
You know, I can't tell if Buzz Aldrin would be proud of these women or if he'd be trying to slip a Mickey in their drinks at the bar, but nonetheless, they are really opening doors, Mark.
Link, let's meet our three brave astronauts today. The crew made up of three first-timers, brave souls who are going where no one has gone before, or not very many people have gone before. Megyn Kelly, of course, she's a journalist, an attorney, political commentator, and of course, a successful host on our program that appears on SiriusXM and on YouTube. Joining Megyn for this historic mission, Maureen Callahan, columnist for the Daily Mail, and the host of the Nerve podcast on the Megyn Kelly Network. And finally, Sarah Clemente. She's a hairstylist, one of Megyn's close friends. Her number one priority today, Link, making sure that everyone's hair looks absolutely flawless, even at 0G.
Absolutely, Mark. It doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you look great doing it. These women could be on the cover of Vogue tomorrow, and I hope they are for the scientific feat going up into zero gravity.
Yeah, for some of these first-time space travelers, Link, this would be as tough as Pete Davidson at a Kardashian family reunion. What are the challenges they're facing today?
Well, I think these women are going to prove once and for all that silicone, Botox, Juvederm, hair extensions can survive in zero gravity. This is a scientific feat, a scientific miracle. This is going to be amazing, Mark. These women are under immense pressure. They are up there with Buzz Aldrin and other space travelers who have paved the way for them before, Mark. These three women are proving once and for all there's nothing a woman can't do that a man can, as long as it's for a few minutes and they don't have to operate any heavy machinery. These women have worked incredibly hard. The athletic prowess of these three women is unmatched by anybody I've seen before, Mark.
This video is so hilarious that I absolutely had to share it with you guys. Megyn Kelly put on a masterclass in trolling as she made fun of the Blue Origin space flight trip with Katy Perry and Gayle King and friends. And instead of Blue Origin, they called theirs Blonde Origin. This video is so much fun. Let's watch it together.
Mission Control says they're cleared for takeoff, but this could not be more exciting.
We got this.
Our crew's working in what's called a modified Boeing 727. It's G-Force One. Great technology inside G-Force One. It uses special hydraulics, allows for maneuvers to achieve zero gravity.
Mark, I would never attempt this in my wildest dreams.
Now, Link, these three are comrades and colleagues, but they've got a competitive streak, let's be honest. When you look at them, who's got the best, as the space correspondent Lady Gaga would say, poker face.
I think Miss Megyn Kelly herself looks like she is really up to the challenge. She's got her zipper down, she's got her stylish boots on, she's got her hair perfectly coiffed. I think Megyn Kelly is in it to win it today, Mark.
You ready for your ride?
Please don't call it a ride. That's a sexist thing to do. When men are on board one of these crafts, one of these vessels, no one ever calls it a ride.
Tens of millions watching us live around the world, and some of the more famous people in this country have gathered to experience history in the making. And look, oh no, oh yes, Lady Oprah in the house.
You know, we can't tell if Oprah is crying tears of joy or if she's crying because she's not the center of attention for once.
And now let's watch as the women experience lunar gravity for the very first time.
Getting quiet.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my God! Oh!
Link, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, or maybe I saw it on Twitter, most of the moon landings have been faked. This, though, seems all too real.
Mark, this is absolutely 100% authentic.
Whoa! Are my eyelashes still on? Is my silicone okay? Is my Botox still between the eyes? Oh, God.
Link, I never saw John Glenn fix his eyelashes. This is a new frontier, a final frontier, if you will.
Well, Mark, beauty is incredibly important, and these three women are proving that silicone, filler, Botox, fake eyelashes, hair extensions can survive and thrive in zero gravity.
Well, this is exciting. Now the women are about to experience true weightlessness for the very first time. Let's look.
It's happening.
Pushing over! 0-4!
Link, in spaces and sports, records are made to be broken. I'm told our heroes today have shattered the mark set by the gals from Blue Origin. Tell us what they've done.
Mark, these women have spent twice as much time in weightlessness than any of the women on that ridiculous 11-minute Blue Origin ride. Back here on Earth, sales of Ozempic are plummeting because women have found a way to be weightless without any GLP-1 drugs, Mark. This is incredible.
It's happening. Happening.
Oh, feet. It's happening! Give me it. Oh my God. Taking up space!
It's not a ride. It's not a ride.
Link, like all the events in the world today, social media paying close attention to our heroes. Here's one tweet I'll read to you. This is from RX4245. It says, Blue Origin witless, Blonde Origin weightless.
We knew your expectations of us were high, and we exceeded them. It's the whole world. I'm like, it's the whole world. Threadway.
Ready, get
Yeah.
in position.
Megyn Kelly going for the water. She's going. Oh, it's a miss. Let's see if she tries again. Yes.
I'm inspirational.
Megyn Kelly 1 for 2. Link, that gets you in the Hall of Fame if you play for the New York Yankees.
Got it right there.
Absolutely, Mark. And as Megyn Kelly said herself, she is an inspiration catching that water in zero gravity.
Let's look at this again in slow motion. Megyn Kelly, thirsty as all get out. You don't lose your taste for the drink, even in zero gravity.
And not only are these women thirsty for water, they're thirsty for fame, they're thirsty for attention, but in 2025, that is perfectly acceptable, Mark.
Welcome home, brave space angels. We knew you could do it.
I still have difficulty calling myself an astronaut. I know.
Here are heroes descending back. They're sun-kissed, and now, wait a minute.
Ew.
Like, I've heard of kissing the ground under such circumstances, but this to me looks to be a full-on makeout session.
You know, Mark, I think these women should buy the ground a drink first. I also know there are a lot of men who would be jealous of the ground right now.
This is a grand space tradition. NASA has done it for years. The names of our heroes turned right side up and upside down. And now let's listen in for the first time back on Earth to our star heroes from space.
Did I mention how proud I am of me?
You know, you tend to do that. I forgot for 1 second, but yes, you are. I know.
Not just to girls and women either. Boys too. Boys and men. They all find me very inspirational.
How was the ride?
I don't appreciate when people call it a ride. It's not a ride. They never say that for the other astronauts. It's a flight, it's a mission. Okay? That's what there's nothing frivolous about what we just did. It was a mission, and it was mission accomplished.
Well, a little bit of unhappiness there for Megyn, maybe not getting the respect she thinks she and her crew deserve.
You know, Mark, how dare anybody call this a ride? This is a mission. These women were incredible. This is a scientific feat. They trained, they worked hard. This is amazing, Mark. You know, Mark, my producer is saying we've got Megyn on the line.
Yeah, hi guys, it's MK. Look, I don't know what's happening here, but I don't hear us being called astronauts enough, or at all. You know, we did the same flight path as Alan Shepard. Astronauts. Okay, I'd like to hear that a bit more, please.
Guys, get it right there.
If you could please focus on what matters, I would really appreciate it. I gotta run. I have some more selfies to take, but thanks so much for your coverage. Bye.
That was Megyn Kelly. Megyn, we understand your point of view. We reject it summarily, but we do understand. Lincoln, incredible historic day. Tell me your reflections. What has this meant to you as someone who's covered space launches for, 20 minutes?
I am just overcome with emotion. I am incredibly proud of these three women for everything they went to in the lead up to the launch, for surviving zero gravity and making it back down to Earth safe and sound.
That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes up, you have never said to an astronaut, boy, what a ride. There was nothing frivolous about what we did.
Take it on space!
That was epic fun. Please don't call this frivolous. Megyn literally trained 6 whole minutes for this. I am in tears with this historical achievement for blonde kind. Blonde lives matter.
Now we can talk about the fact that you, my friend, have been to space.
I've been, Paul, so now I can talk about it. I'm inspirational. I'm an astronaut. And thank you for admiring me the way I know all of you do as a result of my massive achievement. We did the most epic troll ever of those morons on the so-called Blue Origin space flight, where you could normally go up there for $1 million a seat, or you could know Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos and go for free like these morons. So Gayle King gets off of this flight, and Katy Perry and Lauren Sanchez, and everybody starts dumping on them. Again, not unlike the Met Gala. If they had gotten off and said, that was very cool, really honored to have been included, totally unique experience, I'm humbled, we would not have had any fun at their expense. But what happened was they got off the flight. We got profanities from Lauren Sanchez like, so dark, so quiet. We got Katy Perry spending more time staring into the camera on the spacecraft than looking out the window at, space, and holding her little daisy, and then holding her little set list, trying to promote her concert, and then coming down telling us how she sang "It's a Wonderful World" and how amazing that was. Then we did anything meaningful. So that's what's led to us reacting the way we have. And Gayle King has been the worst of all. It was a huge mistake to include her. If she hadn't said the things she said, they still might have dodged the bullet. But she went day 1, day 2, day 3, post-flight, ripping on all of her critics. It's not a ride. Don't call it a ride. You never call it a ride when the male astronauts go up there. And then actually said, astronaut, I still have trouble calling myself an astronaut. Of course you do. We all do, because you aren't one. What are you saying? We took the same flight path as Alan Shepard. Alan Shepard, we talked about this last week, who literally walked on the moon and was the first to go up in outer space. And she wants credit like she's just like him. The risks were the same. She definitely feared, just as he did, that they were going to turn into one big fiery fireball, which was equally likely in Gayle's case and that of Alan Shepard. So long story short, we decided to go up in what's called a zero gravity plane, which I highly recommend. And you get 15 times of 30 seconds a pop, zero gravity. So 15 times I went up, and for 30 seconds a pop, almost, was floating in the air just like an astronaut with zero gravity, but not an astronaut. And in our case, not in outer space, just at like 25,000 feet in the air. It was so fun. It was the most epic troll of all time. We just kept making fun of them and spitting out their stupid lines. And I feel cleansed. It was extremely cathartic. And only now, Paul, do I feel that we as a society can move on from those morons.
I think that you've touched the face of God, but you haven't just touched the face of God, you've done it with the back of your hand in that loving and understanding way of touching those we care for.
Yes, like I did it and I felt that. And then I turned to the camera and gave it a middle finger because that's really what God told me he felt about the messaging that was coming out of Blue Origin. Ours was called Blonde Origin, and it was zero gravity, zero clue. That was our tagline and really should have been theirs. I urge anybody given this opportunity to try to have, again, the theme of our discussion today, some dignity while they do it and some humility once it's over in speaking about your big accomplishment.
Democrats don't want Leroy to celebrate, but you can combat that by using my Buy Me a Coffee link to buy him a dog treat. Just listen to the little guy crunching back there. He loves his treats. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Red Dawn Daily with your host, me, Dawn Marie, and sometimes Leroy. Oh, Leroy, you look like you're ready for a siesta. You look so cute in your sombrero. You really do.